Stadium, crowd of more than 60,000 people. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Welcome back. And it's a whole new ball game. That's the motto here in Kansas City under young John Mackovic, taking over from the Dallas Cowboys as head coach for the San Diego Chargers, beaten a week ago by the Jets, and quite convincingly. Suddenly a very important game, and Kansas City upset them a year ago. For more on the Chargers, the Gifford.
Thank you, Howard. And you touched on the fact that the Jets beat them, and overwhelmingly so. Don Coryell, many folks have thought over the past few years, could have gone to the Super Bowl if he had some defense. Well, this year he went to work on his defense, went into a 3-4 defense, brought in a whole lot of new people, and sure enough, they got their 500 yards or nearly 500 yards of offense against the Jets, but they gave up some 400 yards to get with the Jets and 250 yards on the ground gained against San Diego. So maybe they're right back where they started, and then might be back to the drawing board for Don Coryell. But they have a great offensive team, and they're really fun to watch. For the Kansas City Chiefs, well, Howard has already touched on the fact that John Mackovic has come in as a new coach. He had 3 superb years at Wake Forest, and then 2 years under Tom Landry with the Dallas Cowboys. He's a young man. He's 39 years old, and there's a lot of hope here in Kansas City. Don talked with him earlier.
Hey, listen, the head coaching job is not a piece of cake. Everybody knows that. Well, the new head coach here in Kansas City is John Mackovic. And John, only 2 years in the National Football League, and all of a sudden you're a brand new head coach. So coming into Kansas City, you've got to have some kind of plans for the future. What are your long-range plans? What are you going to do here? What kind of program are you going to install?
Well, we'd most especially like to have a team that is known as a championship caliber football team every year, and one that can play and be a force, and be one that every time we go out and every time we start the season, people say, well, that's one of the teams you have to beat if you're going to win the championship.
Okay, from a style standpoint, now there's a lot of different, we're throwing the ball a little bit more. Now, you were with Dallas for a couple of years. Do you intend to bring that particular type of offense, or are you going to maybe take that style and enhance it a little bit?
We will throw the ball probably a little more than we did in Dallas, and we start with the forward pass. We like to force the defense to play the pass and use the run in there as much as we can, and we have to adjust our running game really to our backs, but we like to come out first and throw the ball and force the defense to play the pass first.
You said something that day I thought was really a little unusual. We were talking about the game. Of course, everybody knows San Diego. They're going to put that ball up in the air, and you said, in a way, I hope we don't get 2 or 3 touchdowns ahead of them, because it'll going to change that whole style of the game. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that was an unusual statement.
Well, let's talk about it then.
Well, I think San Diego over the years has had a great respect for Kansas City. And there's a tendency for the games to be close and a little lower scoring than many of theirs. And if something should happen and we get ahead real early, like 2 or 3 touchdowns even, I think that you would see them pass the ball every down. And that's the time that they can really ignite and catch fire and light up the scoreboard. And we would really rather play them a little closer and a little tighter the whole 60 minutes.
John, I hope you have a successful career here, and it's been nice talking to you, and good luck tonight. It's going to be a good ball game.
Thank you. We're happy to have you here.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay.
John Mackovic, the new head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, and you get the feeling this man's going to keep it all in perspective. From Barberton, Ohio, John Mackovic. He won his first game over Seattle, 17-13 last Sunday. As you can see, Kansas City, to your right, has won the toss. You're looking at Anthony Hancock, a speed burner, back deep for Kansas City, and Ralph Benershka will get the proceedings underway here at Arrowhead Stadium, where they have a good crowd. They're expecting about 60,000 in this 78,000 seating facility. Benershka coaches the ball, and we're underway from Kansas City, and this will be Hancock from the 2-yard line. Drops the ball, and Kansas City will start deep in their own territory inside their 5-yard line. There's a swirling, gusty wind, and I think it did affect Hancock when receiving the kickoff. Let's take a look at Bill Kinney. He has won the job that he has dueled with Steve Fuller over the past 4 years. Fuller now traded to the Los Angeles Rams for a setback, Jarrell Thomas. We will see him, a former Ram, a 4-year veteran. He will be opening tonight along with Billy Jackson, number 43. There's Jarrell, 5'10", 228-pounder. That's your offensive line. Over on the right side, a rookie is starting there, Dave Lutz. He has replaced the veteran Charlie Getty. The Kansas City Chiefs right at the 5-yard line. First down and 10. They won their first game of the season. They're looking for 2 tonight. Billy Jackson Third-year man Alabama hammers his way for about 3 out close to the 8-yard line. Defensively, it's a 3-4. We spoke of a moment ago. Not terribly effective against the New York Jets. They ran so well to their right against Keith Ferguson. Lyndon King will be out there on the left side. I'm sure he'll also be tested. Pair of rookies, Mike Green and Billy Ray Smith in the middle linebacking position. That's the secondary. There's a pair of rookies there also. Danny Walters out of Arkansas on the right side. Gil Byrd out of San Jose State on the left side. 4 rookies starting defensively for the Chargers. Jarrell Thomas. And Thomas will have the first down. And this is a youngster that Howard and Don and I saw a couple of years ago. As a matter of fact, 3 years ago in his rookie season against the Dallas Cowboys, and he was sensational that night.
He almost destroyed Dallas single-handedly that night as the Rams gave it to the Cowboys, only to lose subsequently to the same team in the playoffs. Nonetheless, it began with a Hancock fumble, and Tony out of Tennessee has been improving, but he must hold on to the football. His fumble against Seattle a week ago gave Seattle its touchdown.
The first down is near the 12-yard line. Kinney back. He has the time. Good protection. Finds the tight end. Willie Scott. Short yardage. About 4 yards out to the 20-yard line where it's going to be second down and call it 7. Mike Green defensively, the rookie from Oklahoma State, and a 9th-round draft pick made the stop. Here's Willie Scott. He'll alternate with Ed Beckman a great deal of the time. We will see a lot of personnel used this evening. Getting back to Jarrell Thomas, though, Kansas City needed a running back, obviously. Tragically, the story of Joe Delaney, their great running back who died June 29th, attempting to rescue youngsters out of a swimming area in Louisiana. He not only missed as a player, missed as a person. On second down and 7, this is Billy Jackson, and Bill Kinney gets another completion, but upended quickly. Lyndon King was there, and it'll be far short of the first down. Third down and 5 coming up.
And equally tragically, at the services for Joe Delaney, Claude Buddy Young out of Illinois, one of the great ones of all time, working for the commissioner, Alvin Pete Rozelle, killed in an automobile drive away from those very services.
Third down, close to 5 for Bill Kinney. He'll go on top. And it's complete. Going out to Tony Hancock. He had the first down, step back inside, try to get more yardage. But I think the first down will hold. Mike Green defensively there again, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, playing that left inside linebacker position. And Hancock had the first down, and now they're going to give it to him. There was some question. Tony came back after he caught the ball.
You know, John, as we look at this play in ISO, at our production meeting today, John Mackovic said to you, our key area of improvement is the continuing improvement of our quarterbacks, and Kenny has certainly been doing that. Remember?
Yeah, I do. It's going to be interesting to watch Kenny, and we'll comment on a little bit later. I watched Kenny. Of course, they got a good one in Blackledge out of Penn State. They think he's going to maybe the quarterback of the future, but Kenny is the guy right now. Number 9, little handoff. Jarrell didn't make much on that one. I think Mackovic's, his tenure at Dallas was just primarily to work with the quarterbacks, and his history, he was a quarterback himself, so he has a good feel for that position. A lot of people here has been evidenced by what Frank mentioned earlier. He's been with Kinney, he's been with Fuller, and he had to make a decision, and I think that's a real good one right there. To clear that up, don't leave Fuller on the team. He got a good trade for him, and now he's got Kinney.
Thomas lost a couple. Ackerman was all over him. Second down and 12 for Bill Kinney. And Kenny's in deep trouble. It was Keith Ferguson getting there quickly from the outside, beating the rookie, Dave Lutz, over at right tackle for Kansas City. Ferguson not big, but he's very quick from the left side.
I don't even remember Mackovic saying that to me, as a matter of fact.
He sure did. Oh. Now, Frank just said Ferguson not big, but very quick and very effective. Yes, normally so. But he's the guy, as Frank told you earlier, the Jets simply shredded a week ago.
Not big, 241. Actually, it was Lyndon King on the tackle in the deal with Keith Ferguson over the left side. Third down, large yardage, and out of the shotgun is Bill Kinney. And again, pressure on Kinney, and it's going to be picked off. Tim Fox will give San Diego super field position as he steps in front of the intended receiver and brings it back to the 21-yard line. The little man picked up from New England a year ago to solidify that secondary. He's a hitter, and he's not bad on coverage.
I don't think there's anybody who doesn't know about Tim Fox, who follows the National Football League out of Ohio State, a top draft choice. Once one of 5 first-round draft choices, defensive backs with the Bats, and he is one tough kid. Hits like a linebacker, as we've so often said of certain defensive backs, and always around the football. The penalty. Frank.
Penalty, and we'll get it from Jerry Seaman.
Personal foul, clipping, number 51, intercepting team during the return.
Woody Lowe, a little active for San Diego, and I'll tell you, there were 3 chargers. I'm sure you saw it on the replay, covering the intended receiver. Certainly somebody should have had at least 2. Bill Kinney tried to hammer it in between 3 defenders and is picked off by Tim Fox. And following the penalty, the Chargers will have the ball first and 10, 35-yard line of Kansas City. San Diego got him a year ago for a second-round pick in 82, and they got him for a third-round pick in 83. They gave up a lot, but they got a good football player. James Brooks, single setback for San Diego on first down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Brooks hurdles that little body inside the 35 for a gain of couple. It'll be second down and 8. Let's meet the offensive unit. Dan Fouts, of course, he with the 7 NFL records, over 20 San Diego records. Just an amazing athlete. Gets back so quickly, sets up, fires. We'll see Chuck Muncie and James Brooks together at times. And what a veritable plethora of receivers and great.
Oh, I haven't heard that in a long time. That's a good one.
Veritable plethora. Apparently healthy. He's had a foot problem throughout training camp.
That does mean a whole bunch, buddy.
On second and 8. Brooks once again. And, he's going to throw away. And Dyron Cherry takes Brooks out of bounds, but you saw the flag. It's going to work against San Diego.
This is going to be against Ed White, number 67. Holding. That's what we expect anyway.
Well, we could expect that. Let's see what he's going. See there, it's close. That was it. He hit him right in the head with that flag, so Ed had to know it was a no-no.
Big Ed White was out there leading that play, very visible to all of the striped shirts in the area, and he was picked up rather quickly.
I got a kick out of what Coryell said about Ed White. He says he was so proud of him he came in about 310. Let's hear it right now. Yes.
Illegal use of hands, number 67, offense.
That's Ed White.
He was so pleased because Ed has worked himself down to about 289.
He's one of the strongest men in the history of the National Football League.
And you got to get, he's one of the oldest people playing, too.
Second down, 15. The ball now just outside of the 40-yard line. Bobby Duckworth is in. Number 82 had a big game last week against the Jets, and Fouts is looking for him, but he's in trouble. And he strong arms it back to Duckworth.
Oh, that's
falling away to the left, and just an impossible pass to throw.
That really hurts the defense when a quarterback get a ball off like that.
Let's take a look at the defense. A 3-4 also for Kansas City. The big man, of course, Art Still. And Mike Bell, well, he can be just as good if he stays healthy. Those are your linebackers. They've had nothing but linebacker problems. Gary Spaney out for 6 to 8 weeks. They lost Dave Coop, who was filling in for Spaney last week, knee surgery. Gary Green, one of the best in the business over in the left corner. Lucius Smith, who came to Jarrell Thomas in the Rams trade. He's at right cornerback. He never played that position for the Rams. It's third down and 8 for Fouts and company. Duckworth's intended receiver, pass that could have been caught, even though it was delivered a little bit behind Duckworth. Durwood Rockmore was there.
Watch Kellen Winslow, number 80.
Do you think they have been watching any films on Winslow?
Lots of luck trying to get through those two.
They got to leave him alone after 5 yards. So that was pretty close to that 5-yard line, or whatever you call that.
They've got Ralph Benerskin on for the field goal. Hit a 23-yarder last week. He was 6 of 7 in free, and he had a 51-yarder in preseason, as well as a 49-yarder. Ed Luther will put it down. Benerskin can reach it. On its way and looking good.
That does it.
51-yard field goal.
That does it. That makes Benershka on the record his 100th field goal, the best field goal percentage kicker in the history of football. We'll be
Another
back.
record also. We'll get to it. Made Berners qualify for the all-time NFL kicking ratings. He has now kicked 100 field goals. He is the best of all time thus far. But I'll tell you, Kansas City has Nick Lowry with a better percentage than Benerska, and he is coming down the line also. This is Hancock. And Hancock this time puts the head down at the 25. Stops up to the 30-yard line. Kansas City first down and 10. We have 8:09 remaining in the first quarter from Kansas City, where they're really enthused over this football team.
It's got to be kind of a lift in a way that San Diego only came away with 3 points, because when the interception was returned, it went back down to the 20. Flipping penalty moved it back, and they weren't able to move that ball and settled for a 51-yard field goal. So that's got to make that defense feel pretty well. Good defensive unit.
Bill Kenny brings them up. Jarrell Thomas, number 31. One set back along with Billy Jackson, number 43. Kenny, play action. Good, man wide open. It fires it deep, and it goes down to the wide receiver, Carlos Carson. Carson with a lot of speed, and he forced the defensive back, Gil Bird, into a full sprint, and then he just pulled up. Brother, that was Henry Marshall, who was late reporting. And Henry Marshall is in there, had been playing behind Carson. Let's take a look at him again.
Henry Marshall was the 6th-round draft choice from Missouri, who proved out. Good hands, even though you saw a quick fumble, but he kept it.
They're going to bring that back. They are going to bring it back.
That's not right.
That took a lot of folks to decide that.
Well, Henry, it looks like to me he caught this ball.
I think he caught it.
But as they say, maybe he should have caught it more smoothly. He's got it right there.
Watch this.
All right. Yeah, I think he caught it.
His hands were underneath it, and he caught it. All right, nobody's perfect, including the official.
You've got to be
back
good.
to the 29-yard line. It was 2nd down and 10. Pass to Marshall, incomplete. Thomas sets up in the tailback position, and they send him over the right side. And out of the 30-yard line for a couple of yards, where it'll put Bill Kinney in the unenviable 3rd down and 8 situation. Defensively, Mike Green once again for San Diego.
In effect, this is exactly what John Mackovic told you in the interview, Don. Likes a tight game, doesn't want to get too far ahead, because then they throw on every play, San Diego does, with fouls. So he's getting his wish.
It's nice. There you go, John.
Bob Rush, former Charger, acquired this year, will snap out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 8. Kenny ducks the traffic and tries to get rid of the ball to Carson, incomplete. A lot of pressure.
And you see that, Frank, more and more. The defenses start off with a 3-4 defensive alignment. Then on a passing situation, they bring in another lineman. That particular time, San Diego had 5 defensive linemen down in a 3-point stance, trying to put as much pressure as they can on Kenny, and they did. He didn't really have much time to throw.
James Brooks, you had a quick look at him. He is deep for San Diego, 2nd in the NFL last year in punt returns. Very dangerous return man. This is Jim Arnold. And Arnold hangs it up.
Have a good run.
Handle it at the 30. Good coverage by the Chiefs. They get down, swarm all over Brooks near the 30-yard line. First man there was Ed Beckman on a punt of 39 yards from Jim Arnold, who led the nation a year ago in punting, a 5th-round draft pick out of Vanderbilt. 6:38 remaining in the first quarter, and it's San Diego 3-0. Acute observations that only he can bring to you.
Well, probably true.
There's Dan Fouts bringing up the Chargers. 1st down and 10 near their own 30-yard line, and this is Muncie pulling forward. Muncie with 55 tuck yards last week against the Jets.
Yeah, they started to spread rumors that Chuck had lost a step and all of that. We queried Air Coryell about it today, and he told Don, no way.
No way. He likes Muncie. He really likes Brooks, too. He had interesting comments about Brooks being the best blocker on the football team, which I found interesting.
2nd down and 8. Bounces back.
Right there he is.
Muncie.
Yes, sir.
And Muncie uses that 230 pounds to tack on extra yardage and get inside the 45-yard line of Kansas City. Wide open, circling out of the backfield.
Real key of this is that he got out of the backfield so quickly. He just scoots around. You see him set right to the right of your screen, right back around. The linebackers are coming. Nobody's there. So he did pick him up. Good read by Danny Fouts, and Muncie was in the right place. He is a terrific target. I've been a fan of Tuck for a long time.
You know, that's a good read, too, Don. That back coming out of the backfield is going to get hit. Fouts had it there so quickly, Muncie had a chance to turn it upfield. Here he is again. Muncie left side, struggling over the blocks of Billy Shields and Dennis McKnight on the left side. He gets a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Thing about Muncie is, as Coryell explained it to us, despite the widely publicized drug involvement he presumably had, he remains the most popular man on the team. And in a very candid discussion, Air Coryell said that he sees absolutely no evidence of any problem now.
Coming off the season, 82, when he finished with 3 of his 17 100-yard career games. Fouts is back on 2nd and 8. Gets the time. Fires it in the direction of Chandler. Incomplete. Chandler well covered. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Looked like one of those situations where you call a play, you're going to go ahead and run it, and you're just throwing it into entirely the wrong kind of defense. There was at no time did I see anybody open on that play. So make a mistake. You come back and regroup. 3rd down now and 8.
Not only that, Don, real pressure from Mike Bell, whom Frank talked about earlier.
Here's an interesting case. We'll talk about it, number 99, a little later on. Couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He was hurt in the first 3 years, little nagging injuries. 3rd down and 8. Look out. Here he comes. Oh, boy. And the blitz was on.
You bet.
And there's a scramble.
Oh, as Lloyd Burris is in there from safety position.
And he really leveled Dan Fouts. No one even touched him.
You know, so many times you see that, too. Blitzing linebackers, the offensive line and backs are used to trying to pick these guys up. But you bring a guy in from safety, and you'll see right here a clear shot. Nobody's there. Dan's looking the other way, and here comes Burris. And that, oh, Dan will remember that.
I'll tell you, rather heady maneuver by Dan Fouts also to get that arm in motion.
I don't think he had any clue.
Well, he did a good job.
Yeah, it just naturally worked out that way, I guess.
Gifford, Maury Gifford is in to do the punting. And this is Hancock. Deep, and Gifford will be looking for the corner.
That's an old Mount Pleasant boy there. Can't be all bad.
Whoop. And he gets a Kansas City bounce into the end zone for the touchback. And Kansas City down 3-0 with 4:30 remaining in the first quarter. Will have the ball at their 20-yard line. A 43-yard effort by Maury Gifford. We'll be back in a moment. Those are Bill Kenny's numbers for tonight. Last week, he was 19 of 32 against Seattle in the 17-13 win. 1 touchdown. 59% for Kenny a week ago. He's looked really good in preseason. And if anything, so much better when Steve Fuller was traded to Los Angeles. The job was for sure his. Fires is complete. Out to the right side in front of Gil Bird, who was working against Carlos Carson. Gain of about 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Of course, they have 2 rookie corners that you heard about last week on television. The Chiefs do. Gil Bird and Danny Waters. And while they are hugely successful prospects, very exciting, they're got a lot to learn, as the Jets prove.
2nd down and 3, 27-yard line of Kansas City. Billy Jackson battling for the first down up over the 30-yard line. It looks like he'll have it.
Did I say the Chiefs?
You did.
Get me the Chargers.
That's all right, yeah. It's okay.
That happens in life. No,
yeah. C, they both start with CH.
no editors. No editors. No retypes.
I'll tell you what, you old orangutan, we couldn't do without you.
Don't be a wise guy.
Oh, okay.
Billy Jackson gets the first down at the 30-yard line. Tony Hancock split to the left. Carson up at the top of your screen. A lot of speed on the outside for Kansas City. Throws underneath to Billy Jackson, and Jackson over the 35-yard line to the 37 before Lyndon King, the strong side linebacker, is there to make the stop.
That's the way to go. Throw underneath until you get decent field position, and then maybe go for the big one.
That's all, and also a good point to do that is also they've got 7 defensive players that are dropping back rather deep at this time, deeply in this time of the ball game. That'll cause them to come up a little bit more. Then you can get to that next zone, the middle zone, right over those linebackers.
Second down and short, 3 yards. Kenny, Woody Lowe comes in from the right sideline, back in position, reaches out over the blocker, makes the stop at the loss, in fact, at the 31-yard line.
Hey, old Woody took another Alabama boy right there with him. He had Billy Jackson blocking, and he just walked him right back. They sent Woody. That's not the 4th defensive lineman, but in a situation like that, instead of sending in the 4th defensive lineman, they'll oftentimes, as they did then, go ahead and rush a linebacker, and Woody was very effective.
Adjustments now on the part of San Diego. We'll get 4 wide receivers for Kansas City. 3rd down and 9. Miles McPherson is in the secondary for San Diego. Bob Rush, the snap for Kansas City out of the shotgun.
6 people rushing.
Screen read absolutely perfectly.
Absolutely.
Thomas, who is Jarrell Thomas's little brother, but it was read perfectly by Bob Greger. And another loss. This time lost back to the 27-yard line.
You'll see coming right up the middle is Bradley and Lowe. They're the linebackers. They put the pressure in there, occupied the blockers, and it was a terrific read by Greger.
Jim Arnold a punt, and this man, he's never broken one for a touchdown in 2 years of returning them, but I guarantee you he will. High kick and not a good kick. That's an awful kick. And Arnold, who had a tremendous career at Vanderbilt, had his problems last week against Seattle, and they're developing again tonight. It'll be good field position once again for San Diego. A punt of 21 yards. Credited unofficially of 21 yards. And San Diego has the football at the 48-yard line of Kansas City. This game has been played entirely thus far with 1 minute remaining in the first quarter in Kansas City's territory. But San Diego still with only a 3-point lead. Fouts back once again, looking for Chandler. Chandler is open and Fouts underthrows. I'll remind you, next Saturday, you'll see it across the nation. It'll be a beauty, too. Ohio State and Oklahoma will get it on live at 3:30 Eastern Time. The Big 8 powerhouse Oklahoma, featuring sensational running back Marcus Dupree, going against Big Ten Dynamo Ohio State with one of the nation's premier quarterbacks. That's Mike Tomczak. And Marcus Dupree, you said something interesting to me about him, Don. How many long runs did he have that first year?
I think he had 4 of them over 70 yards or something like that.
Well, if he get along with the coach a little bit.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10. Fouts on a quick reverse. It goes to Brooks, right side. And good defensive reaction on the part of Kansas City. Albert Lewis, the rookie from Grambling.
Oh, what a
3rd-round draft pick, and he picks up Brooks after a gain of 1.
What a great play. And, of course, potentially one of the all-time greats to come out of Grambling. This young man is a super athlete, and early on, he was a 3rd-round draft choice. He will be likened, I believe, to another Grambling alumnus, number 24, Willie Brown.
Actually played with him a couple of years ago. Movement, and you get a flag, and Dan Fouts has a free down. And he makes the most of it, hits Charlie Joyner. Joyner has the yardage for the first down. Once again, Albert Lewis, the defender.
It's like compounding mistake. The guy knew he was offsides, and then he didn't rush the passer with a full speed, so that's double trouble. Gave Danny a little bit extra time, and he found Joyner.
Talk about Grambling, and you get a Grambling receiver, Charlie Joyner.
It's amazing the powers you have.
Of course. From the beginning.
He is really something. He's got to be up there in his 15th year.
Defense. Penalty decline. 1st down.
What do you hear from Thunderfoot Weaver?
I was thinking of him a moment ago when we saw Mr. Arnold kicking into the wind.
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Thunderfoot in a long time.
Joyner, in his 15th year, over the last 4 years, has averaged 62 receptions a year. Number 18, top of your screen. On 1st and 10, Fouts back once again. Chandler inside the 20, close to the 16-yard line on a rifle. shot from Dan Fouts.
You know, Don, it's amazing that Chandler is able to get out there and play. That's something that Don talked to us about at length. Coyle thinks Chandler is the greatest receiver in football. But he's had this terrible problem with both feet.
Yeah. We saw a great shot of Fouts releasing that ball even before Chandler made his final break.
He was not badly covered by Garrett Green that time. Green had pretty good position on him, but you're right, Frank. It was laid right in there where Green couldn't do anything about it.
At the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Muncie left side. Tries to follow it off with Dennis McKnight, and Muncie coughs it up. Charles Jackson put the hit on Muncie, and Kansas City will turn it over.
Was that Charlie Jackson, I believe, number 51, that was out really played off the block very well by White. Let's look and see again. The two guards are pulling. Muncie's trying. He's getting a little bit ahead of White. And it is 51. Watch it.
Just strips the ball out.
But in truth, Chuck has always had that problem, Don.
Well, he has fumbled some. Yeah, he sure has.
He's not up there really in major statistics with some of the finer fumblers around the league, but he seems to do it on national television or in the biggest games that you could imagine. Carries it loose, much like Wendell Tyler, and so many great athletes have. Jimmy Brown carried it in one hand.
He's got 49 fumbles in his career.
He carries the ball a lot. 18-yard line, Kansas City. Kenny throws underneath. Goes to the tight end, Willie Scott.
You see a play like that, it's almost like saying, well, I'm not sure what I want to call, so I think I'll just run this until I think of something really good.
Willie Scott was a first-round draft choice a number of years back. He's been slow developing by the open admission of John Mackovic, but he feels that this year he's ready to emerge.
He was very complimentary of both Scott and Beckman. He says they played backup roles, and now they're starters and doing very well.
This should be the final play of the first quarter. There was a gain of 3 in that combination of Kenny to Scott. 2nd down and 7. Carson in motion. Jackson gets to the line of scrimmage, and then second effort will give him an additional yard. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 6th when we come back for second quarter action. San Diego on top, 3-0. We'll be back in a moment. Into the Kansas City offense. It's his job now. He was originally a 12th round draft pick of Don Shula in 78. Came to Kansas City in 79 as a free agent. He started 3 games last year after starting 13 in 1981. Of course, in that battle we've already talked about is Steve Fuller. Now Fuller is with the Rams.
Larry Curley and Moe there we saw a minute ago.
3rd down and 6. Kenny from the shotgun. Kenny looks for Marshall and incomplete. Miles McPherson back there with Marshall on a pass that could have been caught.
Certainly should have been.
Marshall, 6'2", goes up.
Right through his hands.
Right through the fingers. And it leaves Kenny in a bit of a problem, and there is a flag down.
Holding, number 65, offense. Penalty decline. 4th down.
Tom Condon, the fine right guard. We'll take a look at the stats in the first quarter. Jim Arnold comes back on.
Very little on the ground. The edge to San Diego in the air. Total yards as a result. And San Diego leading by but 3-0.
Arnold, again, it's a high kick. Doesn't turn over. And it takes San Diego bounce once again, and it'll go out of bounds at midfield, and the crowd is not terribly happy with young Jim Arnold. This one, 27 yards. His last effort, 1 yards, and that's not going to get it done in the NFL. We'll be back in a moment. Diego's had good field position throughout the first quarter. They still have only 3 points. However, 1st down 10 for San Diego midfield.
Chargers have led the NFL in passing yardage, but no team that has ever led the NFL in passing yardage has ever reached the Super Bowl, and that's true of the old AFL too. Chargers have led the last 5 years. Gift.
Every time they are
changing. And Chuck Muncie gets a quick 5 down to the 45-yard line of Kansas City.
I see the whole game changing toward the pass, so I think that stat will not last forever. So maybe not this year, but soon. You see so many teams that really are going to the 3-4 defense. They're throwing the ball a lot more motion, different kinds of multiple offensive sets. As John Malkovich said, we're a passing team. And I think a lot of teams around the league are doing that.
Second down and 5. Muncy, both guards pulling. Muncy trying to follow Ed White for first down yardage, but he's nailed short by Jerry Blanton, the left side linebacker.
It's amazing
the play.
How a play like that is so close to breaking it open. When you follow those two guards, the ideal situation is to be right behind the guards just when they make contact with the defensive player. As soon as they make contact, that back tries to split those blocks. Didn't quite make it. He closed in on him right when he's about to make his turn.
When you consider that Kansas City lost a fine, outstanding linebacker in Gary Spaney.
Yeah.
And Dave Klug, another very good one for the whole season with a knee. Their defense is really super.
It does say a lot for that defensive unit.
Third down and 3. Bouts will put it in the air. Got a lot of time, but no receiver, and this one in and out of the hands of Pete Holohan.
Good example of outstanding defensive play right there. Because he did have 30 time, as Frank pointed out. And that's awfully hard for defensive personnel to cover a receiver down there for very, very long. They did a good job that time.
Anthony Hancock, top hurdler at Tennessee.
He has some amazing stats in college. He was like a #1 pick and was part of a world record-setting track relay team. Has not really panned out to be quite as good as they hoped, but they think maybe now, and with a little experience, this could be his year.
I tell you, Will from Tennessee, Willie Gaul. Yep.
Ari Buford. Oh, he hits a beauty, hangs it very high. Will he get the pursuit down under? Now it carries into the end zone. And Gifford bangs a beauty. But Kansas City will take possession on their 20 following the touchback. A 43-yard effort by Maury Buford. We'll be back.
Tonight.
1983 NFL season for the Kansas City Chiefs, who have a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Down by 3 points in the early going here at the second quarter. Bill Kinney looks it over. Jarrell Thomas. And he's hit right at the line of scrimmage, and a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. I talked about that game that Thomas had on a Monday night in 1980. He had 147 yards against Dallas, and the next week he came back with 145 against Atlanta. Here's Jerry Seaman with the call. I want to remind you, ABC Sports Beat, the Emmy Award-winning show, of course, hosted by our colleague Howard Cosell on Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Fascinating man he's going to be talking with, Edwin Moses. And the Sports Beat cameras followed Edwin around Europe on the recent tour in which he shattered world records, which he's been doing for so long. 86 consecutive victories in the 400-meter hurdles. And, of course, he's looking forward to the Olympics next summer. An exclusive interview on Sports Beat. Following the penalty, the down remains the same. First down to 5, the ball at the 25-yard line. Here's Billy Jackson, single setback for the Chiefs. Looking for Carson. And good defensive play. It was the youngster we spoke of before, Gilbert, the rookie. First-round draft pick, one of 3 first-round draft picks. Not tall, 5'11", 190-pounder, but he played this beautifully against Carson.
What's this?
He looked
perfectly positioned and the ball thrown right to him. Kenny has only averaged 3 yards per completion so far this game.
More than likely, you'll see what they call a zig-out route before long. They'll give that same look to the inside, and Carson will come back to the outside. If Bird doesn't read it, he'll be wide open.
Second down and 5. And Billy Jackson had it on the draw. He'll be short of the first down, and it'll be third and about 4 for quarterback Bill Kinney. I mentioned the 3 draft picks. Billy Ray Smith starts inside linebacker. He was a number 1 draft pick. And there was Gary Anderson, of course, the great running back from Arkansas and wide receiver. And, of course, he was with Tampa Bay Tampa of the USFL, joined him late. And that one has been in all kinds of litigation. We're not exactly sure where that one is at the moment. Gary Anderson is not with the Chargers. Third down and 4. Billy Jackson, single setback. Kinney is back. And a shot to Henry Marshall, incomplete, underthrown by Kinney.
That ball was underthrown. That's not Marshall's fault. Earlier, he had missed 2 that he should have had. Watch this.
Marshall had run a good curl pattern. Had worked it well. But Kenny was short with the ball. Arnold averaging 29 yards thus far in his punting chores, and this one isn't much better. But he might get a Kansas City bounce. No, he's not even getting the bounces. It's killed by Trent Bryant at the 37-yard line. This one, 35 yards. It is in Kansas City. These are the Chiefettes.
Everything's up to date in Kansas City. They're going about as far as they can go. They got a new theater they call a barbecue. The 50 cents to see a dandy show.
Oh, well. First and 10. San Diego, their own 36-yard line. They still hold on with their 3-point lead, but that's it. This is Brooks. Brooks coming back against the grain. Nifty running, and Brooks has the first down. Out over the 45, close to the 47-yard line.
That was great running. And he's out to atone for a week ago when he fumbled a punt. And that was maybe the compelling turnover that gave the Jets security in their victory.
And trying to get some good line play. Pull those big guards and tackles out in front. See a good lead block by Billy Shields. 66 came across. Brooks is a guy, I'm surprised to hear Coryell say he's one of the strongest guys on his team and one of the better blockers.
Tremendous upper body strength for his size.
Yeah, they put him at fullback and let Muncie play the tailback. Here he is
Brooks
again.
on the screen. And this time defended well by Charles Jackson for Kansas City.
I want to tell you, they have a brilliant, Kansas City does, defensive coordinator and Bud Carson. And to show you the inner security of young Mackovic as a coach, 6 of his assistant coaches have been head coaches. So, of course, was John, as Don pointed out at the top of the telecast, because John was the head coach at Wake Forest.
That's right.
You saw the penalty indicated against San Diego. Illegal use of hands. And it's now being marched off by referee Jerry Seaman.
Takes a lot of inner security to hire guys like that.
Number 80.
Yeah.
Offense.
Mackovic, I also think, Howard, he's a very bright man. He's, I don't mean just in football stuff. He's a very bright, learned man. And he does have a way of getting along with people. You're going to like him. And I think that's very important.
Kellen Winslow, the guilty Charger, 10 yards. His first down and 20 and bounces back. All right, gets it into the crowd, and Kellen Winslow answers back with a 12-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Or rather, 2nd down and 8.
All right, let's look at some baseball scores. Milwaukee Yanks, zip. Baltimore postponed. The birds are flying. They appear to be in. Detroit still with hopes, leading Cleveland in the 7th. Chicago in the National League killing Montreal. They won it, and Steve Rogers lost. Pittsburgh still in there, hanging tough, 5-4 over the Cardinals.
2nd down and 8. Brooks right side, and Brooks gets head down. Bulls for a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 5, and that's 3rd down and long for San Diego. Anything over 1, you could say, is 3rd down long for San Diego. They like to put it up.
Whole thing, Don, appears now to be the National League East, with still some hope for Atlanta in the West.
Can you believe the Dodgers won with a squeeze play, a suicide squeeze last night in the bottom of the 9th?
4.
That was not bad.
That's the way DeRoche used to do it years ago.
3rd and 5, West 10 there. Bobby Duckworth, Charlie Joyner, wide receivers. They join Kellen Winslow. And he has the first down inside the 40-yard line.
Winslow's only 25 years old. Seems like he's been around forever. We've been talking about him forever.
He's all world. He's an incomparable weapon. No limit to that man's. Remember down at the Monday night NFL Superstars show we did during the strike?
Yeah.
What an animal. He is a great player.
Be careful.
I understand.
Offside. Number 67. Defense. Penalty decline.
He is
First down.
the greatest player in the world at his position, and certainly one of the greatest in professional football. He is just superb.
Art Still is offside for Kansas City. The Chargers take the yardage, and they have a 1st and 10 near the 39-yard line of Kansas City. They hold on to their 3-0 lead. And James Brooks pops through on the left side. He'll get good yardage, about 6. Moving close to the 33-yard line.
When you look at Art Still and Kent Krimmer and Mike Bell, the 3 guys, big guys up front, these guys are playing extremely well. We've mentioned that they've had a couple of injuries in the linebacker positions, but Charlie Jackson, Blanton, Walker, and Thomas Howard, they're filling that thing in pretty well up there. The front 7, I guess you'd call them.
Muncy's a single setback. Bottom of your screen, Kellen Winslow. You never know where he's going to be. Muncy finds an opening, and Muncy will have the first down as he gets close to the 27. Tyrone Sherry made the stop defensively for Kansas City.
Now they're driving. They're ripping that defense.
That was just what I was talking about. They're ripping that defense. That is one of the few times, though, they've gone through. That was Cherry that came up and made that tackle, when usually they're handled by that defensive line or those linebackers.
San Diego, 488 yards of offense last week against the Jets in a losing effort, 41-29. And they did most of it in the second half. And they've been slow starting here tonight. Now they're on a roll as Muncy inside the 25 to the 27. He'll pick up 4. It'll be second down and 6. Tom Howard defensively for Kansas City.
Kansas City is a stubborn team, but they have shown no offense tonight.
You know, Fouts has had 31 300-yard games over his career, but he's only had 1 against Kansas City. And last year, they lost to Kansas City 19-12 right here, and he was held to 204 yards on 36 attempts.
It seems they're running a lot more than they usually do, too. Look at Muncy.
Muncy, and he'll have another first down inside the 15. Tyrone Sherry made the stop. So San Diego draws closer, and we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
KGTV San Diego, Channel 10.
Muncy brings it inside the 18-yard line of Kansas City, and the best control drive that San Diego has had of the night.
And they've decided, Don, they can run on this team.
Looks like that's what they're trying to do, all right.
Muncy single setback. Winslow in motion. Muncy, and he finds another big opening, and he gets inside the 10-yard line, and it should get tougher down here, but Muncy will get 3, maybe 4 out of that one. I'll tell you, he's moving behind the line, frankly, that looks like a housing project. They are enormous. Billy Shields up around 285. McKnight, who has replaced the injured Doug Wilkinson, who has a broken forearm. He won't be back for a few weeks. He's about 260. Masich 260. Ed White, well, he says 280. And Gissinger at 277. They are enormous. Second down and 6. This is Brooks. Flags are everywhere as Brooks is to the 5-yard line before he's taken by Jerry Black.
I think they're going to get hurt here, Don.
I really didn't see what that was. I was really watching.
I thought there was
McKnight was the lead guard that pulled out there.
I thought there was a hold. No, the other way.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Oh, it'll be offsides against Kansas City.
They're going to have to take that one, wouldn't you think?
They'll take that.
Save
The down
that
will
dam.
remain the same, and they'll be about a yard short of a first down. Fouts is having the option explained to him.
Turned out to be a lovely day here in Kansas City, didn't it?
Beautiful.
Touch of fall. They've had a very warm summer.
Had 21 consecutive days of 100-degree weather, and suddenly it broke. They understood you were arriving.
I do like cool weather. Yes, that's right. Oh, it's a lovely city, though. I've enjoyed it.
Lining up in the neutral zone, number 99, defense.
I think Coachman will get you every time.
Mike Bell, right side, offside for Kansas City. Down remains the same. It's second down, a little more than a yard to go, and the 3 tight ends are in. Kellen Winslow, Eric Sievers, and Pete Holahan. Muncy tries to go up over the top, and I don't think he made it.
I don't either. There he is. You know, Don Coryell has been criticized for some as being too easy with his players. He said today I'd rather be that way. I'd rather be me. That's my disposition.
Got to treat people like I'd like to be treated.
Exactly.
That must work. In 25 years as a head coach at Whittier, San Diego State, the Cardinals. Now San Diego, he's had one losing season. In the last 3 regular seasons, he's won the AFC West outright. Third and a little more than a yard. Muncy. And Muncy bowling very close to the first down.
I'm not sure he got it, Gift.
Certainly going to be measurable.
No matter, it was a good effort by Muncy, and look at all those red shirts standing around. That was very aggressive pursuit by the defensive unit.
They are stubborn.
Yeah, they're good.
You can read lips. You saw him say how much. Somebody told him this much, and he said, go for it.
I would think so, too, Frank. You know, they haven't put a lot of points on the board. It's kind of an unusual situation. But I think when we came in here, everybody expected a very high-scoring ball game, moving close to the halftime and only 3 points. So they got to get something moving.
Here come the sticks. Inches short of the first down, and you saw Don Coryell a few moments ago. Somebody indicated that it was short, and he said, go for it.
Interesting situation.
Long drive by the Chargers. This is not a San Diego attack that we're used to watching. 11 plays, 59 yards. They've moved the ball. It's 4th down and inches. And the Chiefs fans are aroused.
This town is alive again, and what a great city it is. A vital young mayor. Brooks, I don't think they got it. I don't think they got it.
Well, look at that defense, man. That's terrific.
It's a whole new ball game here in Kansas City.
It's certainly going to depend on where they mark it because they didn't have very far to go. But the Chiefs certainly don't think he made it.
Head linesman.
Looks to me like they lost yardage.
I'll tell you, I don't know. But Art Still, Jerry Blanton were 2 guys that were extremely.
They'll bring it in again, but I don't believe he made it.
I don't either, Giff.
That could really snap some life into this young Kansas City Chief team.
I still think you got to go for it down there, though. Whether he made it, whether he.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
You know, if they got it first down, they're 96 yards away.
Sure, they lost yardage. I told you. There he is, young John Mackovic. And from the reverse angle, Don.
Well, it looks like he's just trying to go right over White. Hands it off to Brooks. No, I can't say who's there. I mean, everybody's there. They didn't push him out at all. Let's see who the first guy is. That I can't really tell. Probably that's Jerry Blanton, a linebacker, number 57 that came over.
Good defensive effort by Kansas City. They'll have the football 1st and 10, their own 3-yard line when we come back. Got a great effort from his defensive unit. Kansas City gets the football back. We have 5:46 remaining in the first half, and San Diego holds on to their 3-0 lead. They had a long drive of nearly 60 yards. They did not put the ball in the air, and they missed on a 4th down and inches. And Kansas City has the football back. James Hadnot, a big 4-year veteran out of Texas Tech, is in there on short yardage situation for Kansas City, and Kenny's going to put it in the air. Looking for Carson. Carson gets Kenny out of the shadow of his post, out to the 23-yard line with an 18-yard pickup.
You're darn right. That's a good call. That's a gutsy play. And the kid who caught it, Carlos Carson, who scored a touchdown with a reception last week against Seattle, has the potential to be a superstar in this league.
The ball was a little bit underthrown, not much. Carson's got a big hole, got his man turned around, had to wait on the ball a little bit, but there he is. Made it out of dust.
I tell you, young Mackovic is going to make it big as a coach.
At the 23-yard line, 1st down, Kansas City. Jarrell Thomas. And he's collected at the 25-yard line. Gain of about a yard as they mark it at the 24. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Earl Thomas playing in the offensive backfield of Kansas City with his brother Ken Thomas, a rookie 7th-round draft pick out of San Jose State. Now he comes out, and Hadnot comes back in, number 48.
Frank Makovic, of course, is calling the plays.
Second down and 9. Kenny on a short roll, and he finds the open man and fires a complete. Once again, it's Carson.
Best ball he's thrown all night was that one right there. Stepped in there, threw that one to McCarty. Hit Carson right there in the numbers where it should be. Carson probably is saying he was pushed on his turn. Good throw by Kenny, though.
It's amazing what a good defensive effort down near the goal line can do to a football team.
It does kind of lap over. You're absolutely right. They had a good chance to do something and come out throwing. Here, take another look at Carson. If he was complaining, I'm not sure what it was about. He was just open. He had his man, Danny Walters, pushed back, made a good turn in, good first down.
At the 36-yard line, Kansas City. Kenny, a lot of time, and he gets Thomas coming out of the backfield, and he's nailed immediately. Maybe he'll pick up one.
That was not a particularly good route run by Thomas that time. That's a delayed route. And instead of coming back up field, kind of in between the linebackers, he came along in front, gave him time to adjust, come back up and stop it.
But Frank made the essential point. They're holding down there on the 4, between the 3 and the 4, changed the psyche of this team at the moment.
Well, that's Frank's job.
Thomas's progress was marked at the 39-yard line. A gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8. Kenny once again has the time once again, goes out to Hadnot. A flag is down as Hadnot works his way up to the 46-yard line. King was there defensively for San Diego, but again, a flag is down.
Would you believe that Kansas City
holding, and that will hurt Kansas City.
Okay, Kansas City up to this point has thrown more passes than Air Coryell in San Diego. Don't forget, Thursday we're in Cleveland, which comes off a very exciting victory over the Bengals, who are having hard times. And then next Monday, one of the first big showdowns of the year. Miami, and Shula just rolls on and on against the Raiders, who somehow every year are in the thick of things.
The holding call backs Kansas City up to the 29-yard line. It'll be second down and 17. I think Don Coryell can improve something tonight, and that is that the Chargers can run the football. They did until they got inside the 5. 3:21 remaining in the half. Kenny. That had to be a broken pattern as Carson and James Hadnot were right together, pulling both their defenders together. Incomplete.
And yes, both defenders were right there.
I would assume that they got all 3 of them over there for a while. Hadnot probably went to the outside when he was scheduled to go to the inside.
I don't think John Makovic drew it up that way.
No. Or maybe he was trying to confuse them and make that defense overconfident.
Third down and 17, 29-yard line for Kansas City.
3:15 to go in the half. Shotgun.
If they're not open deep,
San Diego showing blitz. Now they drop out of it. Kenny. Carson. He has the first down and more.
oh, was that a nice play?
How do you like that, Carson?
I love that pass and that catch. Good move by Carson after he got the ball.
4th-year man out of LSU and finding himself.
He is, because that starting position on that wide receiver would be J.T. Smith's ordinarily, and he might have a hard time getting it back when he comes back from a knee injury. And a good move after he caught the ball.
Yeah, he had Danny Walters on him again. Another one of the young guys we spoke of earlier. Walters has got him up at the line of scrimmage. Gives him one little chuck. Comes back. Stay with him a little bit too long there. Good move.
Kansas City, they have a first down near San Diego's 45-yard line with 3:06 remaining in the first half, and the Chiefs are down 3-0. They're going deep for Tony Hancock. No flags, and Hancock split his own defense. He has that great speed we talked about earlier, and Kansas City goes out on top. 45-yard touchdown pass.
There's the number 1 draft choice. Again, working on a young fellow named Bird.
What a turnabout from a great defensive effort. Again, exactly as Frank said, changed the psyche of the team.
Hancock had him by a step. You'll see Gil Bird go up. That ball was laid in there perfectly.
Tim Fox tried to get there from free safety. He could not. A beautifully thrown football with a good pattern run by Hancock. Blazing speed. Nick Lowry is on for the conversion. Bill Kinney will do the holding. And Kansas City takes a 7-3 lead. They held for 2 downs inside the 5-yard line, and the drive has come all the way from their own 3-yard line.
Just look at it again. He didn't do much fancy, but just take off. Mentioned he has very good speed. Bird just couldn't quite get there.
Beautifully thrown ball.
The ball was laid in there perfectly.
I think we mentioned it earlier, but he was on that world record-setting shuttle relay team in 1981 from the University of Tennessee, and he's just put Kansas City on top. 7-yard drive by Kansas City.
They came out throwing, did they, when they stopped them? They said, all right, we'll show you how to move that ball. And I've got a feeling that San Diego may do that now, too. They've been running the ball, kind of poking around. They haven't shown us the type of offense that you ordinarily see when a San Diego team steps on the field.
I'm waiting to see the real chances.
Brooks is back 21 along with Ernest Jackson. Lowry to kick off. It will be Brooks at the 7-yard line. He does it so well. The leader in the NFL for the past 2 years, all-purpose yardage, and he brings the kickoff back out over the 35, but a flag is down.
The touchdown pass, we're going to look at it from a reverse angle. You see Kenny kind of wound up, had plenty of time, lofted that ball, and it comes down right where he wanted it, between the 8 and the 2.
And as Hancock, we watch it one more time. You heard the crowd roar because the penalty was assessed against San Diego, and that will nullify a fine run by Brooks, who took the ball to the 38. Here is Jerry Seaman.
Oh, does that...
Illegal block. Number 41, receiving team during the return.
Ernest Jackson, the deep man with Brooks. An illegal block for San Diego, so they will start at their 16-yard line instead of their 43.
A whole different look.
2:48 remaining in the first half. Severs in motion. Muncy on the draw.
Good move.
Muncy makes it look so easy. Out over the 30 with the 32. First down, San Diego.
I think that
really does.
That was a very good call. You kind of expect is, oh, let's come out throwing this ball. So what you do is you show pass, and then just rather gently drop that ball down in the stomach of that good runner.
But now they'll throw, Don.
Well, I
the
think
real Chargers.
That's a good play right there. Got him a first down.
The ball at the 32-yard line. Muncy once again. Gets up to the 35-yard line. Gain of 3.
Frank, this really strange, don't you think?
That they're running the ball rather than throwing the ball? Yes, I do. I've watched them for the past 4 or 5 years. 2-minute warning now to both benches, and we'll be back with more action. But right now, we're going to have this message from the National Football League. Stay with us. This by this man, Dan Fouts of the National Football League, and that looks like Charlie Fouts' numbers.
I don't believe that statistic. For Dan Fouts, you got Winslow, you got Chandler, you got Severs, Joyner, you got Carr.
Second down and 7. Severs now in motion. Fouts rifles it in, and Charlie Joyner was manhandled. No flags are down. It will be third down and 7.
That was a good linebacker drop. Good deep drop. Blanton, and I believe that was
Tommy Howard. 52.
All right, we're trying to hit the Joyner again. A little turn-in route. Usually a very safe route to throw. And it was. You're right. Howard came over. Blanton was there. Looked like to me. Hit him right in the face. But he didn't catch it, whatever it was.
1:55. San Diego has 3 timeouts. 6 defensive men in. San Diego has run the ball 19 times this half. They passed for 12. Bounce.
Right on the money.
Joyner kills the clock, stepping out of bounds with the first down at the 49-yard line. And again, Fouts had a man right in his face and still was able to deliver.
But that's the greatness of Fouts right there on that play.
I enjoy seeing that particular pass route thrown about as much as any, because it does take so much timing. And he did have a lot of pressure. He got a pretty good little rush. But Joyner makes his move. And so Fouts, from a quarterback standpoint, you have to know it's not just how hard you throw it, but he's got some pressure there. And there he comes. Just as he throws that ball, he's got people right up in front of him. He says, yeah, I've got it.
Well, Mike Bell and Dave Lindstrom are right in his face.
Kansas City showing blitz. Fouts. Joyner stops the clock again inside the 30-yard line, and this is the San Diego we've come to love and know over the past few years. They have the ball in the air where it belongs with all those great receivers.
And this is where Fouts so excels. The poise, the calm, despite the rush, and the great receivers. I don't know of a more disciplined or reliable receiver in the league over the last 15 years than Joyner.
Joyner was extremely good with pass routes. And I guess discipline, or at least know-how, somehow should be involved in that.
Wes Tanner, top of your screen. He's got rookie. Now they have Gary Green over in front of him on 1st down and 10, and Brooks takes it outside. Good open field tackle. It was Albert Lewis. We've talked about him earlier tonight. The youngster, 3rd-round draft pick out of Grambling. That's hard to do. Bring Brooks down all by yourself.
Just watch that kid. I don't understand that call either, Don. They're moving the ball in the air.
It's really not too terribly different from a little quick screen. If you get Brooks out running, you know, and they had him going on the snap, then he kind of pitched it out to him. They just try to get some blockers out there in front of him.
Loss of 2, 2nd down and 12, inside 1 minute. Fouts is sacked, and a flag goes down. And it was Mike Bell who was first in on Fouts.
Let me tell you something. Art Still has the reputation of being one of the great ones, and he is. But Mike Bell, yes.
And even worse for San Diego. Started to say earlier, Mike Bell, now in his 4th year, a 1st-round draft pick in '79. You'll see him come into the screen, number 99.
Working on
the first 3 years, I mean, he had all kinds of pulls and strains. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with him, and they sent him to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, and they told him that he was using the wrong kind of exercises, get off the weightlifting and do a lot of stretching, aerobic type exercises, and that's what he's done, and he has been injury free.
Number 66, offense.
Billy Shields trying to hold Mike Bell on the left side, and he didn't do a very good job because it was his man that got into Fouts. Watch 66, top of your screen from the reverse angle, and that's Bell he's working on.
And he's got it.
And Bell still got to him.
2nd down, 22. Fouts trying to get it to Joyner, and it's picked off. Tyrone Cherry. And now it's coughed up and it's loose, and San Diego will get it back.
What a break.
What a break is right.
The good Lord was willing, and the creek didn't rise.
Right.
San Diego got it back.
Fouts started off throwing that ball into a pretty good crowd of red jerseys. It was bounced around a little bit. Let's just look at it again. If you all got a pretty good drop, you'll see Shields is doing a better job of holding this time.
That's Tyrone Cherry coming down with it. Cherry, of course, filling in for the great All-Pro Gary Barbaro, who's still holding out. And he made a great effort, and then he coughed it up. And San Diego gets it back. 52 seconds remaining in the half, and Kansas City on top 7-3, surprisingly, here in the 1st half.
So they've got touchdown opportunity and certainly field goal position.
1st down and 20. Fouts changing up at the line of scrimmage. Goes to Joyner, and Joyner steps out of bounds. inside the 21-yard line.
May not have him this time, but that time he had our Howard's all-world tight end wide open. Kellen Winslow right down the middle.
47 seconds now in the half.
Hank was trying to be aware of that time and get Joyner to the outside. He did get outside to stop the clock again.
Joyner is just amazing. Every year he says, I'm retiring. Every year they talk him out of it. And every year he produces, just as he did the prior year.
Killed the clock, and he's very close to the first down.
Remember that game in San Diego, Frank, when 3 times he was knocked out of the game, kept coming back and excelling over and over again?
Just a great night, as he's had for so many years. A few inches short of the first down. I mentioned earlier he's caught 62 passes on average for the past 4 years. If he can average 59 over the next 2 years, this year included, he will become the most prolific receiver in the history of the game, replacing a great one, Charlie Taylor. There he is. Started in Houston 15 years ago, went to Cincinnati for a while, and wherever he's been, he's always been on the football field. He just is that kind of a player.
I think they're stretching it a little bit when they say he weighs 182. He's probably closer to about 172 or 73.
Second down and inches, 47 seconds remaining in the half. Kansas City over San Diego, 7-3, and each club has 3 timeouts.
Mike Bell.
And Mike Bell once again.
What a
Mike
performance.
Bell is giving Billy Shields a workout, and a flag is down once again.
What a performance. Really.
He really is. The Olympic training paid off.
They can't stop him.
I wonder if it's on Shields again. And it's one thing to hold him, but it's other thing if you don't even do a good job of that.
Well, that makes a field goal a little tougher. We have 42 seconds left.
And now the option is being considered by Kansas City. The loss was back to the 29-yard line.
They have to accept the penalty.
That's Charles Jackson getting the options explained to him by referee Jerry Seaman. Jackson looking over to the bench and getting the official call from John Mackovic, and we'll get it from Jerry Seaman.
Going to decline.
Holding, number 66.
It was.
Offense, penalty decline.
Decline.
Down.
Again, top of your screen, 66 is Billy Shields. Mike Bell is 99. That's where the holding occurred.
I don't agree with that.
He's got that left hand hook in there. But he didn't hold him long enough because he's going to break loose. And
they didn't follow it to conclusion, but Bell rained all over Fouts once again. Third down and 8.
That's a good sign.
That decision to decline was made by the bench. I question it.
Well, they want to give him one more shot, I guess. They're trying to make him kick that field goal.
Now it's back once again. Has to hurry it. Going into the end zone to Duckworth.
Almost intercepted again
By Gary Green this time. And it'll be 4th down, and we'll see Benushka.
But this way, they're in field goal position.
Benushka comes out. And Ed Luther will do the holding. Benushka hit earlier on a 51-yard attempt. The only points the Chargers have put on the scoreboard. 36 seconds now remaining in the half. Kansas City with a great goal line stand and turned it into a 97-yard touchdown drive. Culminated with Kinney hitting Anthony Hancock. 47-yard attempt. Hook left, no good, and this crowd loves it.
Oh, that defense is playing well.
Everything went for John McAvoy. He knows something.
Everything. Had the distance, it appears, didn't it, Frank?
Yeah, it's got a little hook into it.
Just hooked it a little bit. It was long enough. Just hooked it.
28-yard line now for Kansas City. They have 3 timeouts. They also have a 7-3 lead. 1st and 10 for Bill Kinney. Terrell Thomas to the right side over the 30-yard line. Gets about 3. It'll be second down and 7. Kansas City not eager to stop the clock. The final seconds now ticking away inside 20 seconds. So Kansas City will be content, it would appear, to let the time expire and go into the locker room with the 7-3 lead. The crowd's going to love it. John Mackovic and Bud Carson have done an excellent job with this football team, and we'll be ready for our halftime features after this message and a word from our local stations. Ohio State going against Oklahoma, two of the finest, and you'll see Marcus Dupree, the great running back from Oklahoma. We're set to go. Kansas City will kick off to San Diego. Dropping are James Brooks, number 21. He's back there with Ernest Jackson. Kansas City last year 3-6 in the abbreviated season, while San Diego went to the playoffs. They were 6-3. They beat Pittsburgh, and then they were totally overwhelmed by Miami, who of course went on to the Super Bowl. Both teams 2-2 in preseason, and Nick Lowry will get things underway here in the second half. And Ernest Jackson, an 8th-round draft pick out of Texas A&M, has trouble with the football. Picks it up, but only gets back to the 6-yard line. And San Diego will be deep in their own territory. You might recall, if you were with us at the opening of our telecast, the same thing happened to Anthony Hancock. They mark it at the 4-yard line, and Dan Fouts comes back onto the field. Kind of an uncharacteristic offensive game for the Chargers thus far. They have run the ball almost an equal amount of times as they have put it up in the air. And they'll give you the stats right after this first offensive play. Muncie is a single setback, and they'll try him right up the middle. Trying to get a little breathing room, and Muncie moves out to the 7-yard line. Let's take a look at the first quarter, and then we'll follow that with the halftime stats.
Well, look at that. First quarter. Domination, apparently, to that point by San Diego. But Kansas City excelling in time of possession. At the end of the half, total yards, San Diego with the edge, but time of possession almost even. The key, Kansas City stopping San Diego on the 4 and then driving 97 yards.
It's Muncie looking to cut back, as he always does, on a 2nd down and 7, and he gets out close to a first down. The Chargers have been successful on the ground, except having driven the ball some 59 yards. They were held on 2 consecutive plays by the Kansas City defense. And Muncie does get the first down, so Dan Fouts has a little more operating room. Looks to the sideline for the play. That's wig-wagged in. Ernie Zampese in the press box, directing things for San Diego. The assistant head coach, Ernie Zampese, in charge of passing. There is such a thing. Muncie once again. All right, Muncie gets a block from Dennis McKnight, turns it back against the grain, tripped up by Albert Lewis, but not until he sprawls up for another first down.
Can't help but feel at this stage of the game anyway that San Diego definitely is coming in here and said, hey, we're going to run the football. We're not going to come in here and keep that thing in the air all night. We're going to run the football. They've basically done this all night long. We take a look from the end zone. You see a quick flip out to Chuck. Got some good lead blocks out on the outside. Knight, number 60, threw a good block. Chuck basically just turned that corner and made a first down.
Muncie gets to the 25-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. Draw play, Brooks.
Well, it is.
And Brooks, again, big yardage. Brooks out close to the 33-yard line for a pickup of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3, upended by Jerry Blanton. Defensively, it remains the same for Kansas City. Of course, they change, as all teams do now, on different situations. But Kramer at nose tackle, Still and Bell are the defensive ends. Jackson, Blanton, Potter, and Howard are the linebackers. And it's Gary Green, Lloyd Burris, Tyrone Cherry, and Lucius Smith in the secondary. Brooks sees an opening to the outside. He'll have another first down up to the 38-yard line.
It's absolutely fascinating, tactically speaking. Air Coryell has become run Coryell, and right now it's working beautifully.
Now I think you start to mix it up a little bit.
Exactly.
I think you hit it. He was scheduled to go up the other side. Jimmy says not anything there, so I can pick up a little bit more to the outside. Terrific move. There's nothing on the inside.
And that's something you never coach.
That's
great instincts. Seaver's in motion. Bounce. Dumps it off to Brooks. And Brooks, pickup of about 9. Jerry Blanton picks up Brooks and stops him short of the first down.
Although that was a pass, that's also considered basically kind of in a run kind of offense because he didn't throw it much beyond the line of scrimmage to a guy like Brooks.
Interesting contrast in play selection. The exact opposite, maybe, in the minds of most of what you'd expect, especially in the case of San Diego. Mackovic does say we've got to pass to score.
San Diego started at the 4-yard line. They're out to the 47. Second down and 1. Brooks has the first down, and he hurdles into Kansas City territory near the 49-yard line.
Don't you get the feeling sometimes when San Diego is rolling offensively, Frank, that they're utterly unstoppable?
I've had it for a lot of years, and somehow they run into buzzsaws like they did against Miami in the playoffs last year when they frankly never had the football. I think at the time of possession in that game was absolutely ridiculous.
6 years since we've been here. Monday Night Football. Bobby Bell came in at halftime, said it's like old times.
Top of your screen is Bobby Duckworth.
Old time.
And a little quick reverse to Brooks.
Good move, Brooks.
Oh, and he can do amazing things with that body.
He's slippery, isn't he?
Oh, those feet moving so fast. It is true. You really don't coach something like this. You have to give a guy, say, all right, now here you go. Just teach him some of the plays and let him go.
You know, it's amazing. He came out of Auburn, played with William Andrews and Joe Cribbs. I didn't follow it that closely, but how did they ever lose a game?
Exactly. Nobody could figure that out as they look what these men have done from Auburn.
Second down and 6. Bounce. Chandler. And Chandler has another first down at the 30-yard line.
Is that Chandler's first reception? I think it may be. First or second?
No, second.
Okay.
He had one early on.
Sideline route. He's trying to throw to the outside, working in front of Lucius Smith, who Chiefs got in the trade with the Rams.
I'll tell you one thing, excuse me, Don, he took himself out. He's had the foot problem. As a matter of fact, he hurt one foot last May, hurt the other one in training camp, and it has really been bothering him. But he gets the first down at the 30-yard line. Muncie. This time the defense pursues. Jerry Blanton is there first, and then a whole lot of his pals showed up with him.
Jerry Blanton has been all over that field tonight. He's played a very good football game.
Unbelievable. Their linebackers were supposed to be their weak spot with the loss of Spaney and the loss of Klug, but there he is. And somehow Kentucky turns out good linebackers. Through the years, LeMaster has been a very good one for the Eagles, and there are a number of others throughout the league.
Muncie lost one. It'll be second down and 11. The defense brings in an extra defensive back. And there's a trap call to Brooks up the middle, and the opening is there as the defensive line of the Chiefs was thinking pass. They were taking the pass rush, and the trap worked well.
Quite a call, Don.
That really was. That's his chicken.
McKnight, the trap man. Brooks right behind him.
McKnight says, I'm going to run over somebody if I can just find him. There he comes in. That's it. Not bad. I like it.
Third down and 2, 8-yard pickup by Brooks. 13 plays on this drive. It began at the 4-yard line. Muncie. And he's hammered, but he's inside the 20. It was Jerry Blanton again, but Muncie will have the first down. And San Diego has used up almost 7 minutes of the third quarter. Now they have.
What a drive. Well,
Muncie now checks out. Brooks comes in. Brooks, who led the NFL in all-purpose yardage last year with nearly 2,100 yards, receiving, rushing, kicked returns. He's done that for 2 years. Brooks again.
Move.
He is really.
And Brooks now down to the 12-yard line, and he's fun to watch.
He is running brilliant. Just brilliant.
Can't really think that San Diego is going to keep this offense all year. It must be something. They say, look, let's prove to ourselves and everybody else that we can run the ball, because they really are keeping it on the ground with some fairly conservative type plays. Seems to be a chief shaking up a little bit.
The yardage Brooks has gained seems to be much more than an average of 4 per carry.
Yeah.
This is Jerry Blanton, Howard, coming out, and Kansas City can ill afford to lose another linebacker.
He has had a really very good ball game. Unusual career that he was a free agent when he got here, played a couple of years, got hurt a little bit, was released, went to Canada, played for Hamilton, came back and signed again. Let's see if we can pick it up. There he is, 57. He just appears to.
Ed White put a crushing block on him.
He got it. He and Art Still, while they were teammates down in Kentucky, you were talking about a while ago.
Second down and 2. Brooks got 8. Brooks once again battling down close to another first down.
May even have it. Not likely, but he may.
Following right in behind Muncie, the little one, and I agree with Don. I bet you he's not much over 175. But he is strong.
Well, we're down at the same end of the field where they basically didn't make it in the first half. You're strong too, Howard.
No, his upper body strength.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were strong. No, yeah, his upper
body. He's got the upper body strength of a fighter.
Yeah. Blanton comes back in defensively for Kansas City. Short of the first down by about a foot is San Diego. Muncie. All right. Muncie into the end zone, and a drive that began at the 4-yard line and used up almost 9 minutes has carried San Diego back into the lead.
That was the situation we spoke of earlier where Brooks was in the fullback position. You'll see Brooks come out, number 21, for a lead block. Tossed out to Muncie. Brooks pushes out with Winslow. Boy, a good block right. Oh, is that White? Look at White's block.
Break those tackles.
Terrific block by White. And Chuck just came rolling on in.
Not your finest tackling on the part of James Walker.
Yeah, but it's difficult when it's Muncie. You got to tackle one-on-one.
Benershka on for the conversion. 6:34 remaining in the third quarter. Kansas City has not had possession of the football. San Diego back out on top. They led for a while at 3-0, and then Kansas City came back to lead 7-3, and now it's 10-7 San Diego. 13 rushes, 2 passes on a 15-play drive by San Diego. Benershka to kick off. Anthony Hancock is deep for Kansas City. Short kick by Benershka, and it'll go out of bounds, and they will back the Chargers up some 5 yards. They'll kick this time from the 30. There's a flag down at the 40-yard line, however. And Jerry Seaman will be consulted by one of his people.
Offside, number 28, kicking team, penalty declined. Kickoff, illegally out of bounds. Re-kick, 5-yard penalty.
They're working on young Blanton right now. He came out of the game, then went back in. Couldn't be too serious. And while they set up again, we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations all around the country to let you know who's bringing you the game.
Channel 10, KGTV, San Diego.
Crowd of over 55,000 turned out tonight.
They don't have a bad replacement for Blanton. Number 61. We spotted him early on with New England, remember? John Zamberlin.
They are still hurting at the linebacking spot. They've, of course, lost Spaney, Krug. You had a quick look at Hancock. Speedster for the Chiefs. Benershka has the ball teed up now at the 30-yard line after kicking the last one out. I understand they're working on a brace that Blanton wears. Hancock at the 3-yard line for Kansas City. Good. And he is met at the 18-yard line, dropped, and a good tackle. Hustling down there for San Diego was Ray Preston. We'll be back in Kansas City after this.
Very interesting graphic, Frank. It shows you what San Diego did last year, and quite apparently Cosell has decided that that wouldn't work against Kansas City. They lost 19-12, San Diego did, so now they've gone to the run, rattling the pass, and off that last hugely impressive drive very effectively. Gift,
19-yard line, Kansas City, first down and 10. They trail 10-7. 6:19 remaining in the third quarter. Kenny fires it complete to Hancock. Hancock, pickup of 9 yards as he moves out close to the 28-yard line.
Now that's the play selection tonight. Almost in San Diego's case the converse, and the same thing is true of Kansas City of a year ago. Mackovic did tell us, for us to win, our quarterbacks have to keep improving and we have to throw the ball.
Second down, less than 1 for the first down. Billy Jackson, number 43, single setback and the quick toss to Jackson. Jackson puts one hand down, keeps his balance, and will get the first down out over the 30-yard line, upended by rookie Billy Ray Smith, number 1 draft pick out of Arkansas, whose father Don and I both bumped into a few times over his 14 years at Baltimore.
They really, well, obviously, if they're going to pick him in the first round, they really planning on using him for a long time. He's had a little problem with injury so far in the preseason, but obviously, outstanding athlete.
Had a very sore ankle that he started both games. Carson in motion for Kansas City. Kinney fires to the big tight end, Willie Scott, and they'll mark it up for 37. A gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3. It was Billy Ray Smith defensively for San Diego.
Once again, Billy Ray Smith. And Lou Holtz, who makes a lot of jokes, not related to the old comic, of course, but who's one of the shrewdest coaches around, has said Billy Ray is probably the finest football player he's ever coached.
But he's not had much college experience in pass defense.
Second down and 3, and Billy Jackson is met. He's met hard by the right side of the San Diego defense. Keith Ferguson unpiling. Woody Lowe was there. And it'll put Kenny and the Chiefs into a passing situation.
Charlie Joyner, 15 years from Grambling.
You talk about the receivers. You look at Joyner, they have Chandler, they have Duckworth, not to mention Kellen Winslow. Seaver's a good receiver. They have a guy named Roger Carr. They had great years with Baltimore. They got him a couple of weeks ago. On 3rd and 3. Willie Scott battling for the first down. He'll get it out to the 42-yard line. And the Chiefs run a drive of their own. They're using time.
It's become a hugely interesting football game. When Bobby Bell came in here, he said it's like old times. I know what he means. Look at this in replay.
Delayed pattern coming out of off the tight end position. He was trying to fake him going deep. See a pretty good strong rush by Lyndon King. Whoa. Lyndon King, I think, was the guy that came down there. Well, no, that was Preston that came down on that.
He really got racked.
Kansas City at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10. Gerald Thomas. And Thomas with a nice pickup of 8 out to the 48-yard line before he's upended by Billy Ray Smith.
Frank, they've got things moving now, and when Bobby Bell said it's like old times, the three of us go back to when Kansas City was one of the great teams we've ever seen, a pivotal team on the NFL ABC Monday night schedule, and the great names memorable. The secondary of Marsalis, Carney, Thomas, and Johnny Robinson in his late going, and Buchanan and Tyra, and so many others.
Second down and 2, and a flag flies as Jarrell Thomas is dropped at the line of scrimmage by Mike Green. But again, a flag is down. To Buck Buchanan, I saw him on the way in. He looks like
great,
he
doesn't he? And I'll never forget 89 Otis Taylor. What a great player, Don.
I remember you telling a story of something about somebody sliding in and out of hotel rooms trying to sign him.
Well, Dallas thought they had him. It was during the Pro Football War. And he and a guy named Seth Cartwright.
Which war?
American Football League.
Pay attention, Frank.
Tex Ram and...
Illegal formation. Number 72, offense, no end, was on the line of scrimmage.
That's going to hurt. Very quickly, Frank. Tex Ram and Gil Brandt were about to announce the signing of Otis. They went up to the hotel room to get him. The window was open. They had gone down on a bed sheet.
That's the story.
Kidnapped by Lloyd Wells. Flew to Kansas City.
I love that
Taylor signed with Kansas City.
I love that story.
2nd down and 8.
That's the 10th time I heard you tell that story.
Jackson cannot get free from Bob Greger, and it'll be 3rd down and about 5.
We do have a good time.
Oh, well, we should.
The
ball marked out at the 46, so let's call it 3rd down and 6. In any event, a passing situation for Bill Kinney. Everyone adjusting. Defensive backs coming in for San Diego. An additional receiver for Kansas City. 2:10 remaining in the 3rd quarter. San Diego on top of Kansas City 10-7. No flags. You saw that movement.
Yeah.
Johnny Hancock bobbled it around, and he is going to be up close to a 1st down. I think he might just be inches short.
would you go for it if he is, Giff?
I don't believe so at this point.
Would you, Doug?
Of course.
Of course. I would too.
I mean, he might have it.
No, I don't think he does.
Had he been able to hold on, he would have certainly made that 1st down. You got to catch that thing with his hands a little bit. You see, let it. He got out.
And then when he finally got it, he did surge up close to the 1st down.
I think he's a touch short, Giff. We'll see.
Oh, you'd seen that show before.
Couple of inches.
I go.
Of course you go. Well,
Makovic brings in the punting unit.
yeah, that's true. He was in Dallas 2 years, wasn't he?
Says he learned more in 2 years from Tom than he learned in all his prior years in football. I told you that today.
That's right.
Let's look what old Don learned in 9 years.
That's what I told him.
San Diego is not buying the punt. They have nobody back. And it just could be that Makovic is going to make a long count, look for an offside. Game of chess, as Kellen Winslow says. Jim Arnold. Not having a good night. And this one will go out of bounds, but up around the 18-yard line. Jim Arnold, hearing the wrath of the crowd, the hometown crowd, and we'll be back. Go. Went 96 yards in their first possession here in the 2nd half. They used up almost 8.5 minutes in doing so. They have the ball back again. 1st down and 10 near their own 13-yard line. Brooks. And Brooks out around the 19-yard line. Jerry Green was up there quickly. And Dino Nigerio was there.
And he's angry, and Bell was trying to calm him down. I tell you, Bell and Still and young Lindstrom behind them. Tremendous pair of defensive ends.
2nd down and just about 8 for San Diego. Bouts. Chandler. And Chandler takes a shot from Lucius Smith, but he gets the 1st down.
This is the chance John Makovic took. A worse chance, in my opinion, than it would have been if he had gone for the 1st down. San Diego is on a roll.
I'll tell you, if San Diego continue with their running game, it's going to make their passing game, which is already the best in football, it's going to make it an awful lot easier, particularly for those offensive linemen. 34-yard line, San Diego, 1st and 10. Brooks. And the little man just keeps pounding away out over the 35. Up close to the 37, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And that should expire the 3rd quarter. And that's exactly what it does. Chargers on top over the Chiefs, 10-7. We'll be back with 4th quarter action after this word from our local stations.
Saturday, in all.
We begin the 4th quarter in Kansas City. The Chargers over the Chiefs, 10-7. And San Diego with the 2nd down and 7, the ball at their own 37-yard line. Muncie left side.
First down.
And Muncie gets another Charger first down, and they are running so well tonight.
All right, some baseball scores. Yanks ahead, 1-love. Milwaukee 6. Baltimore, Boston postponed. Detroit won its game. Gained a half game. Tigers 5 back of Baltimore. Chicago shut out Montreal. Pittsburgh beat St. Louis. Philadelphia leads the Mets. If the Phils win, they go into first place by a half game over the Expos.
San Diego another first down with a drive. They started at their 18-yard line. Muncie this time held short on the left side. He'll get a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
I haven't seen Fouts so long today. You think he's got a bad arm? All right, halftime stats. There they are. 191, 134 total yards San Diego. Again, the key was Kansas City stopping them between the 3 and the 4 and then moving downfield for a score. But in the 3rd quarter, total yardage becomes overwhelmingly San Diego. They have been running the Chiefs into the ground.
And they are very close to 50-50 with rushing yards and pass yardage is San Diego. Now Fouts.
Good play.
To Winslow. And Winslow pulls it way down inside the 40. Flag comes in. I think there might be a spearing call. Somebody coming in late on Winslow. Mangiero and Gary Green defensively there for Kansas City, and a flag is dropped by official right on top of the play. It'll be a face mask against Kansas City.
Little screen pass back to Winslow. You see him coming and flipping across the line of scrimmage over to the set to the left, move to the right. Going to follow a couple of his big guys up in front.
That big guy is one of the truly great athletes of our time in his sport.
Jeff. Gary Green getting the hand on the mask. And he gets the penalty. And San Diego now has a first down, 33-yard line of Kansas City. Brooks, the setback now. That little quick reverse. Then Brooks sees a little opening, just accelerates, shoots through it, and he'll get about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6. I remind you once again on Saturday, Ohio State and Oklahoma, they go at it live here on ABC at 3:30 Eastern Time. It's Oklahoma with a great running back, Marcus Dupree, going up against Ohio State with one of the top college quarterbacks around, Mike Tomczak. Ohio State and Oklahoma, 3:30 Eastern Time Saturday here on ABC, immediately following Sports Beat. 2nd down and 6, 29-yard line. The Chargers on another drive that began at their 18. Brooks. Well, he's not that big, and he just powered Chief tacklers back inside the 25-yard line. Short of the first down.
Looked like Gary Green was hurt on that play. He took himself out on 24. Couldn't tell exactly what it was. Maybe just got the breath knocked out of him.
Chiefs are tiring defensively. They've been out there this half forever.
Talking with Don Coryell, you get the feeling he'd be quite a guy to play for.
He really does, doesn't he?
He's very intense. He has that look at the sideline, Don, but kind of lets the guys that come out and they work hard, and then they just kind of go live on their own. They're not too strict with anything. 3rd and 1. Muncie, and this time he did not hurdle over the top. Ducked ahead, and he gets the first down around the 22-yard line.
He got it.
I thought Coryell's comment about whistles. So he didn't have any whistles on the field. He said, I heard so much of those whistles and people shouting at me. Was he in the Marines or something?
He was a paratrooper.
Paratrooper. He said, I decided I didn't want to have any whistles out there before.
First down near the 22-yard line.
Go to Cleveland. Y'all want to?
Yep.
All right. Go watch Cincinnati, Cleveland. That ought to be a good one. And then next Monday,
That's a biggie.
yeah, in L.A. That's it. Dolphins and the Raiders going at it. A couple of good ball games coming up.
Shula is just amazing.
Gary Green for Kansas City. He's all right. He's still in the lineup. First down and 10. Here comes Muncie once again. Right side. Flag is down in an area that usually indicates a holding call.
They got old Blanton taped back up, whatever was wrong with him, and he has played a good ball game tonight.
Mangiero, the nose tackle now for Kansas City, was complaining he was being held, but apparently he was doing the holding. He might have tried to tackle one of those pulling guards. And this will hurt Kansas City as it's walked off. And here's Darius Seaman.
Holding, number 74, defense, first down.
Mangiero, the nose tackle. I think he tried to tackle one of those pulling guards, and they were right on top of it. Muncie now 99 yards rushing on 23 attempts. The 15-yard line. Brooks does amazing things, doesn't he?
He really is having a tremendous night.
Brooks and Muncie, they're hard to handle. He gets 8 yards.
Thomas Howard missed him at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker came in. It was a missed tackle, but Brooks did make a good move. You'll see it when he comes around, number 52, Howard, the linebacker.
Brooks he is a busy runner is what he is.
Yeah, there's not a hole there. You see, he just does slide out. There's Howard's got a shot. Green hits him. No, it wasn't Green.
Look at those feet. They're always working.
Burris.
Second down and 2. Brooks once again. He'll have the first down. He's inside the 5-yard line.
It's an absolutely exhausted defense now. They've been out there almost the entire half. That one brief drive by Kansas City, which terminated when John Mackovic elected not to go for the 2 inches on 4th down in the midfield area. And to me, that was the turning point of any Kansas City hope for this game. Nonetheless, everything's up to date here, as Don said, and the spirit's back, and they've got a new theme song. It's a whole new ball game.
First down, goal to go. San Diego. Brooks. Winslow out in front blocking, and a good hit on Brooks as he tried to cut back against the pursuing defense, and he was hammered as he gets down inside the 4-yard line. Thomas Howard, Prater were there.
Boy, have they chewed up the clock, Giff.
Inside 10 minutes remaining in the game, and again San Diego on top.
You know, this could be
10-7. This drive started at the 18. Their other touchdown drive started at their own 4-yard line.
It's a very clever way to keep their defense off the field.
It's a credit to the conditioning of their offensive line. Muncie gets down to inside the 2, and he's hammered back.
Well, that was a great effort by a tired defensive unit. And that's a reflection of Mackovic. He is going to be, I believe, a very successful coach. Don't you, Dunn?
I think he'll do a fine job. I sure do. I think the San Diego offensive line, as big as they are, Frank mentioned that earlier, and they really are from tackle to tackle about as big as any line around. They've got to be getting a little bit tired, too.
Third down, goal to go, and we could see this one go up in the air. Nope. On the ground once again. Muncie. Ball comes loose. This could be a touchback. Muncie fumbles it at the 1, get into the end zone. Recovered by Kansas City. I believe it's Gary Green. Yes, it is. Touchback, and Kansas City gets it back at the 20-yard line.
That's one of the reasons Gary Green is a Pro Bowler here for them, one of the few they've had. But that kid has a way of winding up around a football. Whether it's running or passing, he's out there. San Antonio, Texas. Let's look at it again. Hate to see anybody. This happen to anybody. Chuck, Muncie's a good one. From the other side, let's take a look again.
Well, that's his second fumble. We talked about the fumbling earlier. 50th career fumble.
And it just slipped out of his hands, looked like to me. Maybe Green did. Oh, there's Green.
There's Gary. And right on it. A reflection of the shifting tides of sport. Hope arises for Kansas City. We'll be back.
62,000 on hand tonight. And the Kansas City defense has done a job again. They get the football back, and they have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They trail by 3 points inside 9 minutes remaining in the game. Or at least the 4th quarter. Kinney. Thomas. And Jarrell Thomas out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Hit there by Lyndon King and rather severely.
Remember that Kansas City cinched its victory against Seattle on an option pass play. Jarrell Thomas throwing it. And it's just something to look for somewhere along the way here.
There was a gain of 7 by Thomas on that completion from Kinney. 2nd down and 3. They've marked it inside the 27. Billy Jackson, single setback now for the Chiefs. Jackson right side, piled up short of the 1st down by about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Well, Kansas City's going to put that ball in the air. They're not, as Makovic said, they're really not a running team, want to be a passing team. And it's just really amazing to me that we got a turnaround tonight. 1st downs. Kansas City hasn't had the ball that much either this second half. 24 1st downs for San Diego, 9 for the Chiefs.
That translates to a 3-point lead for San Diego.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
No, and we're inside 8 minutes.
3rd down 1. Beckman in motion. Billy Jackson.
Going to be awfully
This
close.
is going to be close, dependent upon the progress that's measured.
Oh, he's got it.
1st down. Jackson gets it.
Good effort on Jackson's part, because there was not very much room over there for him to run.
And we have less than 7.5 minutes left.
He didn't play full time at Alabama because they kept using a lot of different running backs. But when he was in there at Alabama, he had a good average yards per carry. Good, tough running back.
The ball just over the 30-yard line. Time ticking away. 7 minutes remaining in the game. Kinney fires it out to Hancock. Should have been a screen, but the screen man did not get out in front of Hancock, and there's going to be a loss of a couple of yards.
That play really works only if it's executed very quickly. I mean, it can't have any second steps. The ball's got to be there just as he comes back. It really is it's a timing. Just as he catches it, that blocker's got to be out in front to block one guy.
And there's 6.5 minutes left, and they must go to the air.
And those two guys got to be a little tired, but I would assume, like running backs, they love to carry the ball. They've had a chance tonight.
They've had a big night, both Muncie and Burke. 2nd down and 12. Big play for Kinney. And a good blitz down for San Diego. Kinney gets the shot into Hancock, and Hancock will have the 1st down out at the 42-yard line, working right in front of the rookie Gifford.
That was not a well-thrown ball. It waffled.
It was a good effort on Hancock to come back down, a little turn-in route on the outside, and he knew where his 1st down marker was, went past that, came back. The ball was thrown a little low. You got a feeling that Hancock's going to develop into a really good receiver. He's got the one thing they always like to have out there, that's speed. He can burn it.
42-yard line at Kansas City. Carson in motion. Jackson. All right. And now Billy Jackson puts on a burst, and he gets up to midfield. He'll be close to a 1st down.
Flag's down.
And we'll talk it over once again on the
This critical
flag.
looking at his wristwatch.
And now we're going to have a consultation. Could have something to do with the official time.
Exactly.
I think that's what it is. The scoreboard not official. Well, no, motion by Kansas City. Yeah. Grandmoms love football.
That hurts. After a big gain on the ground. Set up for another first down. Don't forget, a field goal would tie it, mean overtime.
Illegal motion, number 88, offense. Please reset the clock at 5:19.
That was the discussion about the clock.
At 5:19.
We'll have to reset it at 5:19. It shows 5:17, but it was Carson who was in motion. We saw him working across the line of scrimmage, and he took the step forward before the ball was snapped. Wow. Well, they're going to work this out until it gets to 5:19. Well, we're going to work it down. Then we'll tack on 19. All right, we're about ready to go.
Yeah, well, before we are, I will remind you this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
5-yard assessment against Kansas City for the motion. First down and 15. The ball at the 37-yard line of Kansas City. Jackson. The setback for Kansas City. Kenny steps out of trouble, pulls it down, and Kenny will go down in the arms of Gil Bird after he picks up 5 yards, getting back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 10.
Well, they don't keep this drive going, they're dead.
Bill just, that's Bird that gets it. I said Lyndon King almost got him a penalty right there. He's spearing, and that was, I think he was down. Lyndon, be careful. No, don't do that.
Out of the shotgun, Kansas City. Second down, a little less than 10. Here comes a blitz, is on, they pick it up. And Kenny delivers the football, gets the completion out to the tight end, Willie Scott. San Diego maintaining he trapped it, but he gets the completion, coming up just inches short of another first down. Kenny has completed his last 10 passes.
He got that one off with a little bit of duress, as they say. He did catch the ball. I think it's pretty clear, at least up here I thought he did. Maybe San Diego was a little concerned about whether they were going to mark that ball because he was so close to the first down.
I don't see any question about the catch.
Close enough for the measurement.
I must say, Scott's had a pretty good game, and he seems to be improving, as Mackovic told us.
Well, Mackovic, he took over Wake Forest and won one game the year before he got there. 2 years later, they were in the Tangerine Bowl. He had another good season in '79 before going to the Dallas Cowboys in '81, where for a while he called plays from the sideline for Tom Landry. But he was outspoken and crediting Tom Landry with the knowledge he said he had to have before he could ever take over a head coaching job.
Well, he was interviewed for the job. So was Joe Walton of the Jets.
Third down, you saw how much. Jackson.
Gonna be close.
On the surge, I believe he has it.
I think you're right.
And the clock continues to tick at 3:50. And Kansas City has moved inside of San Diego territory. They have been tough yards. They started, remember, the touchback following the Muncie fumble at the 20. Ball is at the 48-yard line.
Rapidly paced game. Much quicker than one would have expected in an ordinary San Diego game, where usually they pass and pass. But now we face overtime.
And Kansas City with a fine field goal kicker. Good. Carson, they set that up. And it's underthrown, but taken by Henry Marshall, and Marshall's in the end zone. Remember, a while ago, we said there was no screen man in front of Carson. They took the loss. They set that play up. It worked beautifully. Last week, as Darrell Thomas passing to Carson for a touchdown against Seattle. Now, We have Carson passing to Henry Marshall for a touchdown.
Frank, I remember, Don, I suggested something like this, only I thought Thomas would be throwing it. That's the first pass thrown by Carson in his career.
Well, it's what he can remember. They called him in a good defense, too. They were trying to blitz some linebackers, so he had to play him pretty deep. Set up, touchdown time.
And a great effort by Henry Marshall. Dick Lowry on for the conversion.
Everything's up to date in Kansas City.
They got it about as far as they can go.
And San Diego will get the football back, and we don't know how much they'll be running. Lowry drills it to the uprights, and Kansas City goes back out on top. They lead 14-10. There is Carlos Carson, the fourth-year man out of LSU. And we'll be back at a wild Arrowhead Stadium in a moment.
Holography. IBM.
We'll take another look at fastball Carson. Nobody's there. You see him stumbling around. Threw that one up there like he knew what he was doing. A little bit underthrown, and Henry Marshall was right there. What a fun play to watch.
And we have 3:07 remaining. San Diego cannot win it with a field goal. They have to get it into the end zone. Brooks is back for Lowry's kick. And he will not return this one. So San Diego will start at their 20-yard line with 3 minutes and 1 second, and they have their 3 timeouts.
This time they're gonna pass. No more runs.
Carson thinking of a change of position to this man's. 62,000 Chief fans chanting defense. They smell another upset. They had it a year ago when they beat San Diego after losing year in and year out. 19-12 right here.
Hey,
they're on
Dan.
top now, 14-10 with 3 minutes remaining in the game. The Chargers have 3 timeouts, and they have a record-setting offense on the field, but they've been running the ball tonight. They could change that pattern rather abruptly.
Right over
Chandler, and Chandler steps out of bounds with a first down out at the 38-yard line. Gary Green providing what coverage there was, but you have to respect Chandler's ability to go deep.
Not only has no National Football League team coached by Don Coryell lost its first 2 games, but no team in the NFL has ever lost its first 2 games and gone to the Super Bowl. Further, the fastest breaking coach in the league over the past 10 years by far has been Coryell.
First and 10, 33-yard line. Brooks on a screen and gets a tremendous block from Masick, the center. He's still on his feet. He gets another block.
Oh, he got some good block.
Masick put a great block on, pulling from his center position. Brooks broke right behind it.
And Joyner
he's
got
all the way down to the 32-yard line of Kansas City.
This has turned out to be some football game, and this shows you what San Diego can do offensively.
You're going to see Joyner come in and block Green here in a minute with another good one. Right there. That's
what a block.
Brooks, the first down. They mark it at the 31-yard line.
Who were those other guys out there a while ago?
35-yard pickup. Muncy. Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 3 tough yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7, and we're going to get the 2-minute warning.
Kansas City just hopes they get them so they can stop them.
San Diego has 3 timeouts remaining. Both benches being notified of the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. But they print better than you sing.
No, that's right. We just now turn these things on. Let's get it going. It's
the situation. 2 minutes remaining in the game. San Diego with 3 timeouts. They have the ball near the 27-yard line of Kansas City. 2nd down and 7, and Kansas City on top 14-10. Fouts is 6-6 in this half. 15 of 23 on the game. Muncy.
Good move, Chuck.
One man does not take Muncy down. He's inside the 15 to the 13, upended by Deron Sherry. Another San Diego first down. And now Fouts is called timeout. The complexion changing so dramatically. A great run of 35 yards by Brooks, and the Chargers are threatening again. Fouts has talked it over with Don Coryell and, of course, Ernie Zampese. He has Chandler He has Joyner. He has Keller Winslow. His setback is Brooks. First down and 10. The ball near the 13-yard line. The crowd on his feet is 1.
That's it. Down.
Chandler fires into the end zone, and that's how quickly the Chargers can do it.
Boy, they did it. So he was wide open.
They might have done it too quickly. 1:45 remaining.
Totally explosive team. And they're facing a team which is having a rebirth, but which is not physical.
That's a flat, great receiver. He just ran right by Lucius Smith.
And with the bad feet, overcame it all. Point is, against the Jets, they were facing a physical team, a much bigger team than this team, and they couldn't push him around the way they pushed this team around down the stretch.
Banershka now set for the conversion. This for a 3-point lead with 1:45 remaining in the game. And now we'll discuss Kansas City's timeouts. They have 3, and they trail by 3 points. Don't go away. We've got a beauty. Hope you're enjoying our game from Kansas City tonight. San Diego back on top again in a seesaw battle. They lead 17-14, but Erskine to kick off, and there's Anthony Hancock. Great speed. He could break it. Banershka hooks it into the corner, and Ken Thomas, under orders from Anthony Hancock, stays in the end zone, and Kansas City will take over. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Kansas City, they beat Seattle a week ago with a gimmick play or gadget play, whatever you want to call it. Last week is Darryl Thomas hitting Carlos Carson for a touchdown in a 17-13 win. And a few moments ago, we watched Carson hit Henry Marshall for a touchdown. Chiefs have 3 timeouts. Hancock is left. Carson up at the top of your screen. In the slot, the big tight end, Willie Scott. From the shotgun. No pretenses. Middle screen to James Hadnot. And the big one from Texas Tech goes down just about the line of scrimmage. He might have got a yard out of it. Tim Fox came in with a low tackle that dumped Hadnot. Second down and 8. Kinney looks to the sidelines, finds Willie Scott. He's short of the first down. And that's on the 27.
And that's something to always keep in mind in that 2-minute offense. Young quarterbacks can get out there, get so excited about, look, I've got to move the ball down the field. They forget you got to do it with enough downs. And he's got a pretty good down coming up right now. This is not an easy thing to do with third down. What has he got, about 4?
3rd and 4, as they say that Scott went out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Carson, top of your screen, the speedster Hancock to the left. Hadnot sends a setback. They need a first down. A delay to Scott.
He didn't get it.
And a good tackle. Good defensive play. Mike Green, the rookie from Oklahoma State, 9th round draft pick, kept big Willie Scott, 6'4", 245, from getting that first down. It'll be 4th down, and Kansas City calls timeout. 1:06 remaining in the game in Kansas City, down to 2 timeouts. In Kansas City, San Diego with a 3-point lead, 17-14, 1:06 remaining on the scoreboard clock. 4th down and about a yard for Kansas City. The ball at their 29-yard line, and Kansas City down to 2 timeouts. Kinney brings them up. Darrell Thomas, and he is hit short of the first down. It's Mike Green again, the rookie from Oklahoma State. 2 successive hits. This youngster has kept Kansas City from a first down.
Oh, he hit him.
I don't believe that call. We were discussing in the timeout, who's he going to throw to and where? Well,
I can believe the call. I hardly believe that guy's defensive play to break it up. Number 58, just watch him come right through the middle. Zap. Here we're coming out.
Hadnot is the lead blocker.
All right.
And Green ran right by him.
You can sing now, Don.
Billy Ray Smith was also in there, but it was Green was there. And that dust about does it, by golly, because it is time to turn out the lights. The party's over. That's it. That was close.
San Diego first down and 10. They give it to Muncie over the left side. And Muncie carries inside the 25 for a gain of 5. Second down and 5. Kansas City now will stop the clock with a timeout. John Mackovic is looking defeat for the first time in the face.
And I don't know what Coryell was looking at.
He's intense.
What's he got in his mind at this point?
He wants to know all of his options. You better give them to him.
Two good young rookie linebackers are coming here. Green, boom, and there comes Smith.
That was a great stop by Green.
Well, he just
really
straightened Thomas right up.
Well, Fontenot, Frazier, and Gossage. Too little, too late. Baltimore, Boston rained out. Detroit won 5-1. Trails by 5. Hope still there. But that's about it. The birds are flying. Cubs shut out Montreal. Bucks beat the Cardinals. Phils lead the Mets. Should the Phils win, they take the lead in the National League East by a half game over the Expos.
Kansas City down to 1 timeout. San Diego second down and 5. The ball inside the 25-yard line of Kansas City. Kansas City next Sunday will be at Washington. This is Brooks covering up the football, getting to the line of scrimmage where it'll be third down. Hart still defensively there for Kansas City. San Diego next Sunday will be up in Seattle.
One more time at the 4th down situation, and this was Kansas City's last shot at it. Hadnot was the lead blocker. He led the wrong direction, and you see Green. That was Tim Fox, came in there late. Good defensive effort. This is a team, those two guys right there in particular, the guys that are two of the main guys that San Diego's counting on to improve that defense. Got Smith, of course, high in the draft, as they did Green. Two young guys out on the corner. You know, we were kidding a little bit, but maybe one of the reasons they ran so much tonight is just the fact that they did give that defense a little bit. Watch this move. There's no move at all. Lucius Smith is just waiting for him to do something, and all he did is just run by.
When you get down that close to the end zone, and Lucius Smith, to his credit, he has not played much at the corner. He was a 5th man nickelback for the Rams before he came in the trade of Roger L. Thomas with him. But you got to play him up close. You got to start running with them when you're in that close. You can play him tight when you're down close.
Got to make them give you those double moves. Take away one.
Gonna have to start playing a kid named Albert Lewis. That's what you're gonna have to do.
Kansas City has no more timeouts. This could be the final play of the game. Bounce dropping on it. Balanced attack for San Diego tonight. 259 yards passing, 192 yards rushing for a grand total of 451. That's pretty good offense.
Well, John Mackovic doesn't have to be ashamed of his team and its performance tonight. He's got a long career ahead of him as a head coach in this league, in my view.
Bright young man, and he almost pulled one off tonight. And San Diego slides out of it. And Dan Fouts watches the final seconds tick away, and once again, Fouts is the winner. We'll be back in a moment.
I was the first one in our
touchdown. Once again, San Diego defeats Kansas City 17-14. Coming up tonight on Nightline, the America's Cup, sailing's greatest prize. But tomorrow, the Americans take on the Australians in their radical new keel. For the first time ever, the Americans may lose. Crew members, past and present, talk about it. That's tonight on Nightline, immediately following your late local news. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Hong Kong for more top business centers with 3-class Royal Pacific service. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. We'll see you Thursday night from Cleveland, and Cincinnati.